Okay, so let's jump on what did we discuss in our last class? Key pair. Okay, let's have a shootout round. So, what is key pair? What is that used for? So, key pair is to retrieve the password of the EC2 instance. Okay, so in other words, can we say the can we say the combination of public and private key? Yes. So this, what is the extension of the key pair? Dot pem. Okay. So this pem file is public key or private key? It's a private key. Very good. It's a private key. So who has the public key? AWS has the public key. So one key pair can be attached to multiple EC2 instances. Yes. So whenever you retrieve the password of the same EC2 instance, you will get the same password or different password. You'll get the same password. And is it recommended to provide this PEM file to the users to retrieve the password? No. Instead of that, what concept that we should use? Active Directory or Directory Services. Yeah. And if you want to, okay, if you want to log, what is the default username for Windows? Administrator. And what is the default username for Linux? EC2 minus user. What is the protocol that we can connect to the Linux EC2 instances? SSH. With what client? PuTTY. For Windows? RDP. Super. And in ClusterNet, there are different placement groups, right? What are the different placement groups? Cluster, spread, and partition. So if you want to have all the EC2 instances in the same availability zone, same rack, which is that? Cluster. Across availability zones? Spread. And if you want partition, you can go with the partition. Super. You know you are my guys. Gems. So, can you please confirm? Can you see my screen and can you hear me well? So today we're going to talk about a very, very important topic. Okay, so so today's concept is security groups. What's that? Write down everyone. Security groups. Security groups. So what is this security groups? Do you remember in our starting days we talked about firewall. Remember? What is this firewall? What is the single line answer that we have learned before? What is firewall? So which stops unauthorized access to the network, correct? Remember, this is what we have learned, right? Yes. So firewall meanings which stops unauthorized access to the network, correct? So we can allow or we can deny. Remember, guys? Yeah, we can whatever is required the protocol we can allow, whatever the required protocol we don't want we just deny. So that is the actual work of firewall. So the same firewall now in AWS in EC2 we call it as security group. So you can call it as firewall also, but I always recommend to call them as security group. Okay, you can allow and deny with this. So if someone asks what is a security group, so can we say like this? So if someone asks what is security group, the definition is security group C, okay, stops unauthorized access to the EC2 instance. Can we say this? So guys, if we so in order to talk to the EC2 instance first, to whom we need to talk to first? Security group. So you can think it of like security groups is like a kattappa in order to talk to Bahubali. Correct. So this will get secure. But if something manipulated on security group, is your EC2 instance is safe? No, it is not safe. So all your security will be handling for EC2 instance. So it is like a toll gate, right? It's like a toll gate to your EC2 instance. All the security checks will be happening in the security group, right? So can we say that now security group is used to secure the EC2 instance? Security group is used to secure the EC2 instance. Okay. Yes. Getting it today. Okay. So before that, let me put one diagram, that hypnotism diagram. So we know very well the outer line is AWS. Inside that we have what? Region. Inside the region, VPC ka chal gaya bhai. Okay, VPC. Inside the VPC, so there is a new concept that I'll talk. Don't worry on it. We call it as NACL. I'll talk about it. Don't ask. And after that, we have security group, and then we have the EC2 instance. Correct. So if I want to touch the EC2 instance, so I need to go through all these things. Correct. So in order to touch the EC2 instance, I should go through all these things. So let us learn, first of all, let us learn this security group. Okay. So security group, right? Before Babu Srinivas, if you are learning mathematics, you no need to worry about two table. Okay. So concentrate on bigger one. So availability zones is like you will be here no in after the EC2 instance. There is no space. So security group, can we say the security group acts like a firewall to secure the EC2 instance? Good definition, easy definition. Security groups acts like a firewall to secure the EC2 instance. Let's take a real time. Guys, everyone, so you should listen this carefully. It's hard to repeat it because it's a big topic. Okay, please concentrate. Let's take one EC2 instance. This is the EC2 instance. So it's a EC2 instance. Inside that, I have one application. The EC2 instance is shielded or secured by what? EC2 instance is secured by, answer it, secured by security group. So this is our security group. Okay. So now let's say this is the Windows EC2 instance, for example. This is the Windows EC2 instance. So I have the user here. In order to connect to this Windows EC2 instance, what is the protocol that we use in order to connect to the Windows EC2 instance? RDP. So we need to tell to security group that, hey, security group, can you please allow RDP? Correct? Correct, guys? Okay, now tell me, whenever I create a new security group, will there be any default ports, any kind of default ports open? Is that good? No. So that meaning so do you all agree there is something called inbound and then outbound should be there, going in and going out? So here, very importantly, security groups has two types of rules. First of all, what is that, Chiti? Security groups has two rules. Number one, we call it as inbound rule, outbound rule. Write down. Inbound rule, outbound rule. Inbound rule, outbound rule. It is write down. Inbound rule, outbound rule. What is inbound rule? Can we say that which allows the traffic towards EC2 instance? Agree? Which allows the traffic towards the EC2 instance. And this guy, outbound, which allows the traffic outside EC2 instance. Correct? Incoming and outgoing. So guys, when you're going to the shopping mall, what the security guy will be there, no? At the gate. What he'll do, he'll do the massage for you first. And then he'll do the checks, right? So he will do the checks. While you're going out, will he do the checks again? No. Same way here. Okay, now by default, now we have two rules, inbound rules and outbound rules. Now, as you said already, whenever I have attached one security group to the EC2 instance, by default, anything will be allowed. So can we say that by default, inbound rules are deny? Can we say that? By default, inbound rules are deny. Very, very important. By default, inbound rules are deny. Okay, by default, inbound rules are deny. So can you tell me by default, outbound rules are allowed? Fantastic. Outbound rules are allowed. Very important. So by default, inbound rules are deny and outbound rules are allowed. That is the default behavior. Okay, now can you tell me now everything is got shielded to the EC2 instance because it's a security group. By default, anything is allowed? No, by default, everything is denied. So whatever is required, we need to go ahead and then allow it. So now this is a Windows EC2 instance. So what is the protocol that I need to go ahead and allow? Yes, I need to go ahead and allow RDP to the inbound. So can I say that now we need to create a inbound rule with RDP, correct? Yes. Allow RDP. So what is the port number? 3389. With this port number, we need to allow the inbound rule. Okay, now I have an application, guys. So I have an application. If I want to access my application, what is the port protocol that I need to enable? HTTP we need to enable, correct? So for that, what kind of protocol? So for that, what I need to allow HTTP on port 80. So can we say all these are all inbound rules, guys? These are all inbound rules. Yes, these are all inbound rules. City, got this? So now you tell me, is it possible to deny any protocol in security group? Guys, answer is no. Because is it specifically can you deny it? By default, everything is denied. No, everything is shielded, everything is plastered. Whatever you need, you just put the hole and then send it. Everything is plastered, everything is denied. So there is no chance of denying anything specifically here. So you have to only allow it. Rest, everything will be denied. So if you have confusion, I'll write it here. What is this RDP used for? What is this RDP used for? I already discussed this. Is used to log in or connect remotely to the Windows EC2 instance. Okay. Same way, I put SSH also. SSH, why we need SSH? Is used to log in or connect remotely to the Linux EC2 instance. And HTTP or HTTPS. Is used to access the application. Okay, na? No confusion, City. Getting it slowly till here? Okay. Good. So, so whatever the protocols that we have allowed, that will be allowed. The rest are all, guys, the rest are all denied. Okay. Which if you want, you allow it. Otherwise, the rest will be denied. So again, so if you take this is the EC2 instance. EC2 instance. And EC2 instance is shielded with security group, correct? So security groups has two types of rules. What are those? Correct. So call it as inbound and then outbound. So if you want to touch the EC2 instance, first you need to go with the inbound rules. So by inbound rules, by default, everything is denied. By default here, everything is outbound rule. Super, fantastic. Allowed. If at all you want in inbound rule, you just need to go ahead and then allow whatever you need. Correct? Yes. If you want SSH, go ahead and avail SSH. Simply clear, everyone? Now on the security groups. Okay. Now let me write few certification questions here. So is it possible to deny protocol in security group? In security group, answer is no. Because by default, inbound rules are denied. By default, inbound rules are denied. So that's the reason why in security group, you can only allow, correct, protocols not that. Make sense? So, guys, generally AWS will give something defaults. Here is also, guys, do you all agree? Every EC2 instance must have at least one security group attached. Every EC2 instance should have at least one security group attached. No? Every EC2 instance must have at least one security group attached. Without that, it is mandated to have at least one security group. Otherwise, you are just open. You're just leaving Bahubali completely open to who is that guy? Other guy, the black guy. To that guy, Kalake. Yeah. So you should have at least one security group attached to the EC2 instance. So like this, AWS in EC2, AWS is giving you one default security group. We can use it. Guys, AWS has a default security group. AWS EC2 has a default security group. Write down that word, default security group. AWS has a EC2 has a default security group. Write down default security group. Default security group. So I would recommend to use that default security group in order to do the practicals. So many people think, sir, why? Should I tell you the reason why we should use the default security group? Sir, if you tell there is something, definitely will be there. Correct? It's not about free or cost. Okay, let us have logical discussion. Okay, technical discussion. See, why? Yeah, because why I said to use default security group. Let's say, for example, I have asked you to launch EC2 instances. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's say I have 4 EC2 instances. Okay, Chitty, listen carefully. These are all EC2s. EC2, EC2. So, is it recommended to go ahead and then create one security group for each and every EC2 instance? Guys, if you go ahead and do this, it's very, very hard to maintain it. If you have 100 EC2 instance, will you go with the 100 security group? No need. And that too, if at all you have created like this also. So now I want you to log into the second EC2 instance, RDP. If I want to log, if I ask you to log into the second EC2 instance, guys, these security groups in EC2, if you go to the console, on the left side you have all the menus, no? So you have AMI, you have security groups, you have snapshots, you have volumes, all the menus will be there. Like this, you have security groups menu will also be there. If you click on it, all the security groups will be listed like this. And I have asked you to go and then to log into the EC2 instance. So as you have these many security groups, what you will do, you will get easily confused by enabling, by creating an inbound rule for this security group, you will be creating for this another security group. And then you will start complaining, sir, I'm not able to connect it to the EC2 instance. Because this security group, which EC2 instance is getting mapped for now as a fresher, as a new to AWS, it's a little bit confusion will be happening. For that reason, I don't allow my guys you to get confused. For that reason, what I do is do not create any new security group until I say, right? Will you create a new security group? So if you're sugar patient, yes, you can. But if you're my student, don't do that. So I would recommend to use the same security default security group for all the EC2 instance. Okay. So there is a default SG, right? We can use the default security group for all the EC2 instances that we launch. so that whenever any inbound rules are happening, we'll do the inbound rules only to this default security group, which will applicable for all the EC2 instances. Okay, do you understand the logic? Why I said, first of all, everyone clear on this? And I'll tell you now how the real time works. Okay, in real time, this is how it happens. So guys, when I do this, what is this? This is okay. So now I have this EC2 instances. Okay. There's a ELB, which is okay. We have this concept now. So these are all EC2 instance, and you have application. EC2 instance. Okay. So in the back, so do we have a databases also, which is connected to the database? Okay. 1, 2, and 3. Databases will also be there. Okay. Okay. So this database will get connected. Now, okay. Now tell me, guys, in this is your actual real architecture, correct? Is it recommended to have default security group for all like this? You only saying it. So we'll not be using it in our real time. So we will be creating a separate security group for the load balancer, correct? Which is exposed to the internet. Load balancer is exposed to the internet, correct? So we'll be having a separate security group for this load balancer. I call it as ELBSG security group. In this ELBSG, can you tell me what kind of protocols that we need to enable for ELB? Protocol. So we will be using HTTP or HTTPS, correct? Simple. Hey, who is at RDP? Abhilash. That is security, that is a load balancer, man. How do you enable RDP? RDP is for Windows EC2 instance. This is a load balancer, we'll be accessing it, no? So HTTP and HTTPS, correct? So for the, okay, now the question here is from where? From where? The question is from where? So that meaning source. Which source? So HTTP and HTTPS can be accessed from where? So guys, here we have something called 3 things. Number 1, custom, anywhere, my IP. So we have key sources which is available in the security groups. Custom meaning, guys, custom meaning you can enable access to only certain group of network, particular network. Anywhere meaning anyone can go and access your website. My IP meaning only your laptop will be accessing your website. So if it is on the internet, if everyone wants to access, which is the source that we should use? Anywhere you should use. And as you are setting up your own stuff and you only want to access it, not others. In that case, my IP. And or a group of network or certain range of network, in that case, you use custom. So in this requirement, which source do you use? Yes. In our course, you use only my IP. But in real time, which one do you use? You use anywhere. Because everyone wants to access your website. So the source is now anywhere. Good. Now you have enabled it. So can I create now security group separately for my application app SG? See, app SG. For this app SG, tell me what is the source? Source is equal to where I should get it. Is it custom anywhere or my API? It is custom, right? And then source is equal to ELB SG. Correct? Guys, correct? Correct. So now for the database also, I have a separate load, a separate security group, and I call it as DB-SG. Now here also tell me, source is custom, right? And then what is source mean? From where do you get this? It is from Apache. Guys, now no one can hack it because so you have the separate security. This so from internet, can I go directly to my Apache? No, because source I clearly mentioned as all the traffic should come from ELB. So it doesn't allow it. Understood, guys? This is how your real-time architecture should be happening. Understood? How the security group should be used? That's why I said for now, let's go for default SG. Okay. Who said Varun? ELB is public or not public? If it is not public, guys, forget about Varun, forget about web server. Replace the web server with load balancer. Okay. Load balancer should be public. Okay, let's come back here. So now you understood AWS EC2 has a default security group. So can you create multiple security groups now, guys? Yes. You can create multiple security groups and you can attach multiple security groups to a single EC2. Can you attach, guys? For one EC2 instance, can you attach multiple security groups? Yes, you can. One security group can be attached to multiple EC2 instances. That also can be done. That's one too many. So here, let's say 1, 2, 3. So each and every, so you can have so you can have individual security group. You can group it, the EC2 instances, and you can have individual security group like this, or you can have a combined like this also. Okay. So my here thing is one EC2, you can have many security groups attached. Okay. And then one security group can be attached to many EC2 instances. Okay. And then we have sources. There are 3 types of sources, correct? What are the 3 types of sources? One is custom, anywhere, and then my IP. Understood? So, question for you. Guys, I have created a brand new security group. A brand new security group. All inbound rules are super, Dine. And outbound rules are allowed. Excellent. Excellent. So, guys, if I allow any inbound rule, do I need to allow that an outbound rule? No. If you allow any inbound rules, you no need to allow that on outbound rule. Guys, that is called stateful. What is that called? That concept is called stateful. So here, our security groups are stateful. Security groups are stateful. Oh my gosh. I told you that, Shravanti, you only tea, chai, everything later. Sit, lock the door, and please listen. That kind of, it's very hard to understand. Guys, everyone, hello. I don't know in which status you guys are. When you are with me, please concentrate. You came here for learning purpose. Okay. So security groups are stateful. Security groups are stateful. Guys, it's very important certification question. So which are stateful? Security groups are stateful. So if you allow any inbound rule, guys, if you allow any inbound rule, you must allow that on outbound rule. That is called stateless. Guys, which are stateless? NACLs are stateless. I'll talk about NACLs now. Except this NACLs, the rest are all clear. Any questions still here, guys? Everyone understood on security groups? No, it's not about the requests. Rules. The request will contain the protocol. Raju. Sir, by default, outbound rules are allowed, right? Yes, sir. Correct. I told you this one, you leave it. NACL, I'll talk about it. Okay. When I say that, that only you guys ask. So if you allow any inbound rules, you must allow that an outbound rule. That is stateless. NACLs are stateless. Why that is stateless, we'll talk. Apart from this line, any questions? Sir, what is the source of ELB in previous diagram? Everyone can say that. What is the source of ELB? What is the source of ELB? What is 3? Babu, what is the source of ELB? Source meaning you cannot say internet. Out of these 3, you should select one. What is your source of your load balancer? I'm not asking protocols. Do you understand my question? Why you are saying HTTP, HTTPS? If you say, if I am asking what is the protocol should be allowed for the security group, then you say this. When I say source, then you should say any one of these 3. So if you want to, in real time, if everyone wants to access it, go with anywhere. If you only want to access it, go with MyAP. But in our course, which one we should go for it? Because it is to you only, no? Then it is to be MyAP. But in real time, it is anywhere. Should understand the question first. Pooja, that is a rule. There is no explanation there. So, so let's say I have my own flat, Pooja. Okay. I lock my door from outside. By default, do I allow anyone inside it? By default, everything is deny. Then you are saying that why it is deny. What is the reason behind it? What is the reason behind it? If I open my doors for everyone, it will be empty, right? So that's the reason. Whomever I want to give access, I'll give the keys for them. Simple. Any other questions? Okay, next. Sir, default security groups exist in each EC2 instance. We recommend to add new security group for each. We've already learned all these things, yeah, till now. Till now, the entire pent is that about that only, Kiran. You're asking the same question again. Is it recommend to have one security group for each and every EC2 instance, guys? You can group it, no? That's I don't know where are you listening, Kiran? So you for now you group the default security, you group all the EC2 instances with the default security group. In real time, this is how you should be doing it. That's what I said. Concentrate. Should I move to NACL? Or any other clarifications needed here? Any questions? Kiran, you're clear on it? Everyone clear? CC? Non-IT? So if you allow that in inbound rule, you no need to allow any rules on outbound rules. That concept itself is called stateful. These security groups are stateful. Okay? The concept is called stateful. Our house is private for us. Whomever you want to allow, we allow. In the same EC2 is right. Yeah, super, Madhavi. Good. Okay, now let's jump to NaCl, which is very, very important. So what is NaCl? So don't tell me sodium chloride, okay? Chemistry friends. NaCl. So network access control list. What is that? Network access control list. So I'm telling you again, Babu, Chittis, Papas, please listen carefully. Okay, please listen carefully. Little bit, concentration required here. So NaCl, guys, it is same as security groups also, same as security group only. Okay, but this is another layer of security to the EC2 instance. What is that? It's another layer of security to the EC2 instance. Okay, it is same as security group only. Okay, it is same as security group only, but it's another layer on top of security group. I see in this diagram. I told you. See, so before before security group, NaCl will come into picture. Correct. So any request should pass through NaCl. Which one will hit first? NaCl or security group? Yes, NaCl will hit first and then security group. So it is another layer of the security. On top of security group, you have NaCl. It's another layer of security to the EC2 instance. So guys, if you want to tight security, if you want to tight the security, go with NaCl. If you want to tight the security, go with NaCl. So like security group, NaCl also has inbound rule and outbound rules. It has both. So many people generally don't talk about NaCl because that is optional. Okay. So Which one will hit first, guys? NaCl will hit first and then security group. So I just said NaCl are optional, but I really contradict this statement, right? So, but I'll just put star star. But so once the explanation is done, then you'll understand. Okay. Now let me go to the real time, how this will be used in real time. Okay, NaCls. So who will provide the IP addresses to the EC2 instance? AWS. So AWS will provide the IP address to the EC2. Does he provide just like that? Guys, IP address meaning there should be some range, no? Guys, like 192.163, 192.168, 10.172 series, like this. There should be a range, right? How does the AWS knows what range that he need to provide the IP to the EC2 instance? So when we go to the AWS, what is the first thing that we should create? We should create the VPC, no? Guys, first we need to have the VPC, correct? First we need to have the VPC. Listen this carefully. First we need to have the VPC. So VPC is nothing but a virtual private cloud, we have learned. So when you're setting up a VPC, you will be giving the network range. Let's say 192.168.0.0/16, like this. You will give the range. Or 172.31.0.0/16. This is the, guys, do you all agree we have a default VPC? Right? So when we are doing a practicals, maybe after a few days, right, we will be using the default VPC, right? For that default VPC also, there will be some network range, no? So that starts with 172. So AWS has a default VPC that starts with 172. Guys, we can create our own VPCs also, but when time comes, we'll do it. But until then, we'll be using our default VPCs only. Okay. So we will create a VPC. This is a network range, guys. This is a network range. So guys, you have a big flat, open flat. Will you have a flat without any separate partitions like bedrooms? Will you have a flat just open? No. You have a big square feet, like 2000 square feet. What you do inside it, you will isolate the rooms, correct? You will have your own isolated rooms. Same way in this entire big VPC, we can isolate the network. We can create small networks inside it, correct? And what are those small networks called? Subnets. What do we call? Everyone? Subnet. So can we create multiple subnets, guys? Yes, we can create multiple subnets. So guys, let's say you have, let's say 5,000 square feet of big room. So can you create multiple subnets? How many you want? Yes, you can. Provided how much big is your entire flat is, those many you will create it. Understood? So these subnets are like inside this network range, I'll create a subnets like this. See, 192.168.0.0 is a huge big network. Under that, 192.168.1.0, I'll create it. Okay. Same thing here, 2.0, like this, I'll create multiple subnets. I'll create multiple subnets. Guys, as I don't have space, I'm putting only subnet 1 and 2. Can I create 3, 4, 5, 6 like this, multiple subnets? Yes, I can create. Chitti, each subnet is associated to one availability zone. Subnet, this is assigned to one availability zone. This is assigned to another availability zone. Question here is for you. Question here is, do you all agree one subnet is associated to one availability zone? One subnet is associated to one availability zone. Okay. Next question for you. One subnet, this subnet one can be in multiple availability zones at the same time? Answer is no. Guys, subnet 1 you have associated to 1A. This subnet 1 can be in 1A, 1B, 1C, all in all? No, not possible. Remember, one subnet cannot be associated to multiple availability zones at the same time. No. No. You getting it? And again, I have subnet 3, for example. Which availability zone I'll put it? Subnet 3? Okay, good. 1C. So now I have subnet 4. Which availability zone I should put? Is it possible for me to go ahead and create 1D? Guys, 1D meaning Bawai, it's a different availability zone. Is it possible for us to go and set up an availability zone? No. So the 4 can be in either 1A or 1B or 1C, correct? So that meaning, can we say one availability zone can have multiple subnets? Yes. These are all super certification questions. Pakka. Getting it? Guys, getting it? Okay. Is it clear till here slowly? Smooth as butter? Okay, ma, Chitty. Okay, good. So subnet 1, subnet 2, like this we'll create. Okay. So if I go and launch the EC2 instance, should I go ahead and launch in this availability zone, in this subnet? I'll go and launch the EC2 instance here, correct? I'll go and launch the EC2 instance in this subnet. Correct? Each subnet is associated to the availability zone. So if you want to go and launch in 1B, yes, go and select 1B and then launch it. Simple. We'll go and launch the EC2 instance. Okay, good. Now the question here is important thing. See here. Now you got to know that there is some bloody hacker is coming and hacking your, for example, it not happened, but I'm saying, is hacking on SSH. Your EC2 instance is getting hacked using SSH. In some, let's now tell me, how do you stop this hacker? He's coming on SSH. How do you stop him? How do you stop him? Forget about NSL. How do you stop? We don't have NSL. Yes, very good. In security group, what we do? Is it possible to deny? No, we need to remove that SSH rule from the security groups. Rightly said. That is the logic. Correct? Very good, guys. That is the logic. But is it, you will have so many security groups, no, inside that? Is it possible to go ahead and each and every security group and remove SSH? By the time you do it, and he do all his job. For that reason, NACLs come into picture. So NACLs is not specific to one EC2 instance or group of EC2 instance. It is specific to the whole subnet. Whole subnet. So, and another speciality of NACL is NACLs we can also deny it specifically. So in NACL, what we can do is we can go ahead and say SSH NAC. Fada. Gone. So if I deny on SSH on NACL levels, guys, doesn't matter on security group. If NACL is denied, then he cannot go ahead inside. Because in one subnet, you can have hundreds of EC2 instances, no? Correct, guys? So for the whole subnet, one NACL is enough, and you can deny on NACL level, on the subnet level, and all the EC2 instances will be the safe on SSH. Is that clear, that point? Guys, I'm asking you, is that clear? Yes, I'm putting it again. See here. So I'm saying if you don't have NACL, you are with the security groups, correct? In one subnet, guys, you might be having multiple security groups. If you want to deny, you need to go ahead and remove the security SSH rule in the security groups one by one, which is time consuming. So NACL comes with deny option also. In security group, is it possible for us to deny specifically? No. But in NACL, you can deny it. And that too, NACL is not on EC2 specific, it is the whole subnet specific. So one NACL is attached to one subnet, entire subnet, correct? So if I go ahead and then deny it on NACL level, whichever the EC2 instances are all in that subnet, SSH will be denied. Simple. Now got it? So now I write it here for you. Security group is EC2 instance level, correct? Whereas NACL is subnet level. One subnet is associated to one NACL, correct? Now tell me, one subnet can be in multiple NACLs at the same time? No. One subnet should not be associated to multiple NACLs because doesn't make any sense because everything will be overlapped, correct? But one NACL can have multiple subnets. Yes, one is NACL can have multiple subnets associate. Getting it today? Let me give a real-time example now again. Let's take an EC2 instance. Okay. This is a EC2 instance, which is Linux. EC2 instance is secured by security group. In security group, what I did in security group, SSH allowed I have given. In security group, SSH allowed having. On top of it, it is secured by NACL. On NACL, what I did, SSH deny I did. Now tell me, the user can log in. Can he go with the SSH to the EC2 instance? No. That's why NACL will hit first and then security group. Clear now? So many examples. Still, I'll make you more comfortable. Do you remember in childhood, we used to write the differences in the notebook? Security group, and then I'll write the differences. See, NACL. Okay. Guys, tell me now. Inbound, so security groups has inbound rule and outbound rule. Security groups has inbound rules and outbound rules. Whereas NACL also has inbound rules and outbound rules. Yes. Do we have a default SC here? Do you have default security group? And guys, NaCl also has a default. We have a default NaCl. You know, guys, the main reason why people, guys, no one, I'm telling you, no one will talk this much deeper on the NaCls. You know why? People will skip NaCl. You know why? We have a default NaCl, but in the default NaCl, we have inbound rules and outbound rules. No one is talking about NaCl. Why? Because for the default NaCl, inbound rules and outbound rules are allowed. That's the reason why no one cares about it. That's the reason why they talk about security group. Because security group by default, everything is deny. In order to work, so they talk about security group and they will allow the protocols inside it. But if NaCl by default it is getting denied, first they will talk about NaCl and then they'll talk about security group. As the default NaCl is everything is getting allowed, that's the reason why no one will talk about NaCl. Correct? So just in case, if you have created a new NaCl, for that inbound rules and outbound rules are deny. If you created a new one, it is deny. But for the existing default NaCl, it is allowed. So I'll write here security group will hit first and after NaCl. No, security. Shravan, your question, guys, my humble request. Shravan, your question is disturbing me. Why you are copy pasting so many times? Please understand. When I'm talking about, guys, these are all ethics, man. When I'm teaching some topic, please don't put any. Whenever I ask any questions, just put it. Otherwise, you put one time. That's fine. If you keep on pasting it, it's not good. Okay, please understand. I'll take it up. Okay, I'll take it up. So my eyes are on my this, and then my all other 150 students will get disturbed. Yeah, please. You don't need to copy paste again and again. Okay. I'm so sorry. So security groups will hit after NaCl, correct? But here, which one will hit first? NaCl will hit first, and then security group. Okay. So by default, inbound rules are by default inbound rules are deny. Here by default yes, exactly. Inbound rules and outbound rules are allowed. Super. Is it possible to deny any deny here in secret group? You cannot deny on secret group, but here on NaCl you can deny and allow also. Deny and allow also. Security groups are EC2 instance level, correct? Whereas here NaCls are NaCls are subnet level. So here, if you create any new security group, all inbound rules are deny. And outbound rules are allowed. Super. Whereas here, if you create any new NaCl guys, new NaCl, all inbound rules are deny and outbound rules are deny because that is a new one. You can use however you want. So security groups are stateful or stateless. So if you are confused here, I think you are definitely confused. Security groups are stateful. Remember, like, guys, security, whenever you see some securities in near apartments, in ATMs, they're all full. Huh? Full meaning not that full. They are charged up. They're full. So remember like that. Security meaning full. Security groups are stateful. Remember like this. Okay. NACLs are stateless. Right. So what is the meaning of stateful? If you allow any inbound rule, you no need to allow that on outbound rule. That is the meaning of stateful. Here, if you allow any inbound rule, you must allow that also in outbound rule. That is the stateless. Wow, super. Now you understand the differences between security group, NACLs and all. Now post your question. Shravan, what is your question? Sorry, yeah. Paste your question. So I just don't want to distract. Okay, hold on. First take Suresh question, guys. Guys, everyone listen this. Maybe you can also answer. When hacker is hacking EC2, why don't we need to deny? Why do we need to deny at each security group? Why do we need to deny at each security group to each EC2? We can also deny its default security group for all EC2. Then what is the need of wrong? Do you understand the question, guys? So here he is asking, why can't we deny on the default security group? In real time, do we use default security group? Thus, there itself, it is answered. So your EC2 instance will be, we will be launching the EC2 instance in the subnets. In EC2 instance, you have 100 EC2 in one subnet. You might have 100 EC2 instances. So you cannot use one default security group for all 100 EC2 instances. No. Also, maybe you might be using for application EC2 instance, you might use one security group, which might have 10. For load balancer, you have 10 security group. For database, which are 10 servers, you have separate security group. You can segregate. But if someone is hacking, you will be having multiple security groups, right? So instead of going and denying SSH, removing the protocol SSH in each and every security group, you have the whole range of entire subnet, guys. So in that case, you just go ahead and then deny on subnet level. So aim big. So if you give on to do an example, how should I say? So guys, you have your big kingdom, Bahubali kingdom. Huh? You have so many places to enter. So your enemy is coming in. So you will put main army at your main entrance. No, main entrance should be very strong. So if you block on the main entrance, no one will come inside. Correct? Right? If that is bad example again, but I hope you understood, Suresh. Next, sir, my understanding is availability zones can be shared by different AWS accounts. Who said, Babu? So if we deny the SSH for one subnet, it will impact other. Is Babu? No, not at all. Not at all. Shravan, availability zones might be okay if your understanding is, sir, in Mumbai we have 1A, 1B, 1C, which is common to everyone, but we have our own VPC, no GT, right? So we'll be having our own network. So availability zones in the backend is shared, but we will be having our own space. That is called virtual private cloud. So in that case, whatever we do, it will be with our account only. It will not impact others. Okay, that is your. Which of them take precedence over the other? NACL, Andres. Any other questions? City, I'm happy to answer. Any questions? Very good. Very good. Grouping of EC2, is there any limit? Mujib bhai, that is depend upon the subnet mask. So if I leave, why I left? Because unnecessarily confusion. So your number of EC2 instances depend upon this subnet mask. This subnet mask, I'll take it up later in VPC section, not here. By default, NAC is not used. If required, we can set only. Yes, NACL, no subnet is associated. If required, there will be a default NACL and start associating your subnet and it will be applied. Simple. By default, no subnet is associated to the NACL. That's the reason. Sir, if you allow inbound rule, why we no need to allow? Shopping mall, they will check why exit also. They will check why exit while exit also. Okay, the question here is, in shopping mall, why I gave that example is, when you're going in, you already checked. Okay, let's take airport. Okay, let's take airport. So in airport, we'll have a security check, correct? While going out, do you have any security check? Why? Because you already checked. You are pure. You are perfect. There is nothing harm with you, right? So everything is clear. That's the reason why while going out, you no need to be checked again. The same way in the EC2, whatever the protocol that is coming inside inbound using SSH, that will be there in EC2. While going on, why you will check SSH again? Because you already allowed, na? That's the reason why outbound rules are allowed. One subnet should not be associated to multiple NACLs. So, sir, yes. Then one NACL can have multiple. Yes. So, okay, now tell me, Pooja, you are in one subnet here. You are a subnet, okay? Pooja. Pooja can be in multiple availability zones at the same time, multiple NACLs at the same time. Pooja, tell me. Can you be multiple NAC, multiple places at the same time? That is the reason one subnet should not be associated to multiple NACLs. But one NACLs can have multiple Poojas. Right? Yes, I can have. Pooja Reddy I can have. Pooja yes I can have. Pooja P can I have. Different kind of Poojas I have there. Right? So one NACL can have multiple. Sorry. So subnet 1, subnet 2, I can mark it like this. All these two subnets can be in one NACL. Yes, I can. And I can have a common rules for both subnets. Right? But one subnet cannot be in multiple NACLs. If one subnet is in multiple NACLs, which rules that we will take? Getting it, right? Right, guys, can I take 2 more minutes? So this is one subnet, this is another subnet, okay? Pooja. So can this both can be in NACL, one NACL? Yes, possible, no? Yes, this is possible. This is subnet, this is subnet. But one subnet hold on. One subnet can be in multiple NACLs like this. In this case, I say here NACL, I say Babu SSH no. Here I say Babu NACL SSH yes. This bloody subnet, what does it do? Will he listen to his papa or mama? He'll go mad. That's the reason why I said this is not possible. Okay? Good. Take the screenshots, please. Done. And the second one. Today we are going very, very, very deep into each and every topic and subject. Okay. So because you'll be one time with me, so maximum I'm giving it. So take it, make use of it. No other single line of topic will also be left. Everything will cover in depth. And so next. Now you understood the concept why I said optional. If you want to use it, use it. If you want to type it, type it. Otherwise, leave it. That's why I said NACLs are optional. Okay. Na? So important notice. So from tomorrow, no class. So we'll meet on next Wednesday. Meanwhile, please go with all the topics. Just revise. You no need to even go to the topics because it's a very well injected, I know, but just in case. Okay. So the next class will be on Wednesday. That's what Prakash, I said optional. That means it is very useful. People can go with it. Okay. So those who are absent, just tell them that next class will be on Wednesday. No need to call admins and all. So you also have a nice Christmas and take nice vacation also. Right. And then we'll be back on 28th. Actually, we can back. I will back on, but 27. But I'm not sure. I'll be driving, so it's better. Yeah, 28. Okay. Miss you, big boss, huh, Srikanth? Thank you. Yeah. Excellent. Can you give me the final CC for today?